Sports Hub is brought to you by Golf USA in Carnahan, Grand Island.
Well, hello there. Welcome to the Sports Hub Tailgate on CarneyHub.com. I'm your host, Cody Riedel, sitting next to Hub sports writer Jason Ahrens. Jason, the fall football season, the prep season, UNK sports, it's here, it's happened, summer's over.
It's good. No, it's a great feeling actually. Football came just in time, like it usually does.
Yes.
And week 0 and the prep schedule didn't disappoint. There were a lot of great games out there, and you can already start to get a feel of where a few of those teams are gonna be at projecting moving forward through the season.
Let's talk about the game you covered, Ansley, Litchfield, and Burwell. What did you see there, and what did you like from what happened on the field there?
That was a great game, and I think the general consensus of what I kind of gathered from the folks there, it was a lot closer than everyone expected. Of course, this is the first season of Ansley Litchfield's co-op on the football field, and they didn't disappoint. They lost 36-34 to a great Burwell team, but what I was most impressed about was the resiliency of this Spartan ball club. They seemed to continue to shoot themselves in the foot in the second quarter, a couple dropped passes, a couple holding penalties, but yet they kept coming after Burwell. And it came down right to the end of the wire. An onside kick that was recovered by Burwell to secure the win. But I was really impressed with Tyson Howard. The Ansley Litchfield quarterback had over 100 yards rushing and passing in the ball game, and his go-to receiver Taylor Monks. He made some pretty impressive catches, and I could tell Coach A.J. Berkey was impressed with his team's first performance, but he knows that there is plenty to work on moving forward. So expect big things from Ansley Litchfield moving forward.
Yeah, they looked good. As you said, the first year that they're co-oping, so in football. I guess who are some of the other athletes from the weekend that you thought deserved some props on today's show?
Well, we're going to throw out some props. First of all, Derek Hildebrandt of South Loop, I believe it was 287 rushing yards in the first half alone, 3 touchdowns to lead the South Loop Bobcats to a 32-12 victory over Anselmo Myrna. Playmaking, not obviously a concern at South Loop. They can get that done. The second guy I want to talk about is Tyler Schnitzler, quarterback from Kennesaw. He finished the game with over 100 yards rushing, 70 yards passing, and 4 total touchdowns for Kennesaw. They defeated Pleasanton 62-12. Pretty impressive showing from him, as expected. He's one of the most hyped quarterbacks in all of Class D2 this season.
Very nice.
And I got to throw out props one more time to the Overton defense, who they defeated Stapleton McPherson County 42-0, but they started the game with 2 safeties. How often do you see a 4-0 score in the first quarter? Props to Overton.
That definitely looks different in the box score when you see 2-0, 4-0 starts. I guess, did you get to read about the Kearney High hometown team, which they played right behind us last Friday against Lincoln Pius X?
Yeah, I did. Buck covered that ball game. And from what I gathered, it's a situation where obviously Kearney High off to a quick 27-0 start. And I think it's a good learning lesson for the Bearcats. They let Pius kind of come back, ended up being 27-14, but it kind of goes to show if you let your foot off the gas pedal, things can change in a hurry. So I think it's probably a good learning lesson for the Bearcats in the fact that, they still easily got the victory. They had to shut down a goal line. They had to make a goal line stand to prevent a 1-possession ball game late, which they accomplished. But overall, I think Coach Cool was probably pleased with the performance, and Luke McNitt had a nice 50-yard touchdown strike to Hunter King. So the offense is there. So it'll be interesting for the team moving forward.
Yeah. One thing I was at the game. One thing I was very impressed with, as far as Carnahan goes, is their special teams was very good. Their return game with Caleb Lundgren and Hunter King back there had some big returns, and their kicker, Quincy Bennett, comes in, makes his field goals, makes the extra points, and Kearney High, they've had a good run with kickers lately, with Spencer Lindsay the past few years, and current Husker, Brett Maher, so yeah, it was a good performance by the Bearcats.
The future's about as bright as the sun out today right now, so
put on some shades.
Put on some shades.
All right, looking ahead, what do we have looking forward to? UNK Lopers start their season, MIA season on
UNK
Thursday.
Lopers, that's a pretty big deal. Back in the MIAA, heading to Topeka, Kansas for a showdown with Washburn. And of course, the big news in Loper country is redshirt freshman quarterback Kaiser will get the start for the Lopers at quarterback. It's been a three-way race between him, transfer Tyler Diamora, and Kevin Romero, the redshirt senior. Kaiser gets the nod. Obviously, coaches must have been very impressed with his performance, being a freshman and all, getting that start. So it'll be interesting to see if he holds on to that spot moving forward and just how well he does against Washburn.
You got to think he's got to be an athlete, brother of wide receiver Kyle Kaiser that just tore it up a few years ago here at UNK. So it'll be fun to watch him play. So
absolutely.
What are some of the prep games you're looking for this week?
Prep games, maybe one off the radar I'm looking at is Hayes Center is visiting Eustis Farnham. Eustis Farnham 2 years ago graduated a big senior class, so last year it was kind of baptism by fire for that whole crew. Didn't have too great of a season. This year they've got a lot more experience coming back. Jordan Witovic, a dual threat quarterback, watch out for him this year, along with Hunter Ringaburn in the backfield. But they've got Seth Goal, who's he's a junior. He's a great running back and a linebacker, so he'll be a playmaker. But I'm more interested in Eustis Farnham. Last year, a whole new group of starting players. It was a tough season for them, a lot of inexperience. So the Knights are hoping to improve upon last season's performance. Another game, a big game I'm looking forward to, is Cozad traveling to Adams Central. You've got Cozad's Jake Paulson and Adams Central Jake Fowler. The two of them combined for over 3,000 rushing yards last season. Fowler, an all-stater from Adams Central. And of course, the Patriots are going to be favored in this ball game. They've got a lot of playmakers, and they're dropping down to C1. They were Class B last year, a good contender there. So they're going to be the favorites. But Cozad, you know, they're expecting to have a good year as well. And when you've got a speedster like Paulson in the background, a gold medal trackster, yeah, you know, who knows what can happen.
And our two hometown teams, Kearney Catholic, Kearney High, they're on the road this week. Kearney High will be at Norfolk. I believe that game starts at 8 o'clock on Friday. And then Kearney Catholic will be at Ord, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And they start their new season in Class C1 now, moving up from C2. So
yeah, and Ord's not going to be a slouch team. They're returning their quarterback and running back and 2 all-district linemen. So they finished 3-5 last year. So obviously they're not a juggernaut, but it should be a good test for the Stars.
Yeah. Well, I think have anything else to add?
I'm about talked out.
Well, that's our show for this week. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the Sports Hub Tailgate. Make sure you pick up your Kearney Hub print edition for the latest sports headlines. Check kearneyhub.com for breaking news and all that. And make sure you check the Sports Hub blog for crazy videos, our picks, which I'm in first place thanks to Gearing over Holdridge. Sorry, Holdridge. I had to be different than Buck and Jason, so I went with Gearing. But thanks again for stopping by, and make sure you check us out next week.
The second oh, here's the second guy.
Concentration broken. We were on a roll.
I knew we should be able.
We were like butter.
We should be able to cut right there, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
We were like butter.
Golf USA is your one-stop golf shop in Kearney and Grand Island, specializing in golf supplies, full repair services, and custom club fittings to meet the needs of golfers young and old. Golf USA, your internationally known, locally owned golf store in Kearney and Grand Island.